Hey guys, so we are going to start some character modeling. So first thing you want to do is have Maya open. Maya. And a couple things you're going to want to get before you really start modeling is you want to go on the internet or make your own little designs for a character. So I went and I downloaded a couple images here. So you're going to want to get one of a full body, turn around, at least a close up of a hand, and then a turnaround of your head. You really only need a front and a side, but I would grab a couple 3/4 too, because that's going to help you understand the curvature of the anatomy of the face a little bit better. Okay. So once we got those guys grabbed, first thing we want to do is we want to create a project folder. So, for project window, hit new. I'm just going to call this Evit Air. I'll set my destination. You guys put it wherever you need to on one of my drives. Just put it in here. Boom. Accept. And then what I'm going to do is, there's my project folder. I'm just going to take all these images, drag them into the project folder, and I'm going to grab these guys, and we'll put them in source images. Because we want to be able to grab them right away, not have to screw around looking for them. Cool. So, let's get started, and let's bring in our turnaround so we can start modeling. So I'm going to go into my front view here, and then I'm just going to go up to View, Image Plane, Import Image, and this guy. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is make this line go down the middle of this guy. So I'm going to get the image center X, drag over, and then I'm going to drop it behind the grid. So I'm going to get the image center Z. I'm going to drop that behind. If you guys are wondering how I'm interactively doing that, all you have to do is select the attribute you want to move, and then middle mouse drag inside your 3D view, and it'll drop it back. So I'll just zoom in real quick, make sure it's about even. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Import image plane. Let me get that turnaround. Boom. That came in just about where I need it. This time I'm going to drop this image center in the X. And we want the center line to pretty much be where his center of gravity would be. So right about where his heels, like through his heels would be. Oh, right there. Yeah, that's good enough. I usually will drop these back pretty far, just in case I want to look at them for reference. I don't have to deal with them right on top of my model. But usually I'll turn them off. So we can go to show, and we'd hit image planes in this panel. We don't want to use that. Boom. But it'll still show up here. So these guys are pretty even, looks like. Yeah. So we should be good on that. Alright, so the technique we're going to be using today is called box modeling. So, of course, we're going to start with a box. So I'm going to make a cube. Here we go. One of the things I like to use, and this as well, just to kind of make our lives a little bit easier, we go to shading, and we turn on X-ray. You can see our box kind of turns grayish, but it's still transparent. So that allows us to see all the contours of it but allow it to be transparent at the same time so we can see our reference. So, one of the things we need to do with our cube is we actually need to change our subdivision levels. So just do 2 by 2 by 2. That should be enough to start us off with. And I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna start here. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do rough block out of my torso. Now I'm not gonna have enough polygons to make everything work, but that's okay. We just want to get it kind of close. When you're doing box modeling, it's always the best practice to start as low as possible and then go up from there. If you over model too quickly, your life's going to be really hard for you. So I would try to steer clear of that as much as you could. Boom. So again, we're just trying to get the trunk of the character here. So I'm not worried about the legs. I'm not really worried about the shoulders, the arms, any of that. And bring this up a little bit. So we got another angle we need to worry about. So we need to go over here. This work too. So bring it over. Through. I just want to double check. This is kind of doing what I want it to. Down a little bit. Cool. So now what we can do is we can start coming in and adding a few more edge loops here to start to round this out a little bit more. So I'll just start here and insert edge loop. Let's put one about right here. So you'll notice that your sides usually aren't going to be perfect. If you get actual human anatomy or a drawing, it's not going to be 100% perfect on this. So you're going to want to favor one side over the other. And I'm going to favor this side since this one has the entire arm on it. So that's what I'm going to do. Go back. Grab these guys too. Eventually, we're going to cut this guy in half. Just mirror everything over. I'm trying to keep it as even as possible. I'll go through why. All right. So we obviously have this little crease thing going on right here in his butt. It's not a huge deal, but it's something we want to kind of think about starting to address right now, so we don't have to worry about it later. I'm going to do actually, I'm going to drop these guys down a little bit. Actually, I don't want to drop those down because that's where my leg intersects. What I want to do though is so I could do that, which will work, but there's another way we can go about doing it. So I can actually go into object mode, and if you go up to edit mesh, and there is this tool called cut face tool. If you click and drag on an edge, you see this little line that pops up. You want to try to make that as flat as possible, and then let go. It does. It projects an edge all the way through your geometry. What's nice about this is if you have, let's say, bad topology, and you're having problems getting the results you want, that'll allow you to just put that edge loop in regardless. Now we have these n-gons here. See that? Really easy fix. We'll just go to our split polygon tool. Go from here, there. We're done. Not too worried about the tries right there. We'll take care of those in a little bit. Some people think tries are super bad and you don't want tries, and tries are the devil. That's not true. It can make doing box modeling hard because your edge loops won't continue through if you're trying to do like an insert edge loop. It doesn't like it, but it's not a big deal. Still make it work. And I'm okay with those being right there, like that. And I think I want to add another up here. Yeah, let's add another edge loop. Let's do it here. That way we start getting the pectoral muscles, shoulder blades shaped in. Pull this up a little bit. And again, the name of the game right now is keep it low poly. We can always go back, we can adjust this stuff, make it look pretty later on. Alright, so then what we want to do is we want to start rounding this out. Really simple, easy way to do this. You double click this edge, shift double click this edge, double click this edge. And this is why I didn't want to get rid of that side yet, because we're going to scale this down. You want to make sure you get these guys here too, because we didn't finish that edge loop right there. So that's an end gun, so it just stopped as opposed to over there. So you're going to get your scale tool. You're going to hold down Control, and we're going to click and drag on the y-axis. What this is going to do is going to scale in every axis except the y-axis. So what it's going to do for us, if we do that, starts to round it out a little bit. Okay. Now we can always go back and we can change this up if we need to pull things out a little bit more. But now we're starting to have a softer, organic look to it. So I'm going to just split this edge right here. Cool. And now I'm just going to double click this edge here. So groin doesn't come to a point like that. And then he has a neck there too that I want to take care of. So I need to make geometry there to support all that. So what I'm going to do is super easy actually. I'm going to hold down Shift, right click. I'm going to go to bevel edge. Boom. There we go. So I want this to be able to be split in half. So I'm going to do 2 segments. And then I'm going to go to my offset, and then I'm just going to check this out here. I'm just going to round it out a little bit. Bam. Cool. Awesome. Sweet. So this is a pretty decent base to begin with for our base trunk. It's important to remember that you gotta kind of get this right, because all your limbs come off of this. This is the starting point of everything. Think about a tree. Think about the roots and the actual trunk of it. Branches come off that. It all starts from there. Same thing with the human body. So let's see. Cool. At this point, I can actually cut this dude in half. I'll just select down the middle. Cut it. So now it's just gonna be time moving these vertices around so they're kind of fitting the silhouette a little bit better, and then making sure that these tries are kind of eliminated. So I'll just probably put an edge loop in right there to accommodate that. One thing I want you guys to remember too is we're doing 8-pointed junctions. So what that means is wherever we have a limb coming out, you're going to have 8 vertices to make that junction. So just something to think about when you're working. You want to keep that number 8 in your mind. That's how we're working with this. All right, cool. So that's the end of this video. We'll see you in the next.